There's a very simple reason why men suffer more from breakups than women do, and I want to share that with you in this video. Before I share the exact reason why, I have to admit to you that I was a little bit surprised when I read this research study. I think we've all got this assumption that women care more about relationships than men do. We kind of grow up in this popular culture with movies and TV shows where women just seem more invested in the relationships. It seems to be the thing that women talk a lot more about, that men are busy doing other things. And I know these are huge cultural assumptions and that we always need to approach these things with a lot more nuance, but I just have to admit that those were my deeper and underlying assumptions. But when I read this research study, it actually made complete sense to me. The study from Lancaster University studied 184,000 examples of people posting in online forums about their breakup. So they're expressing what it's like going through their heartbreak. And they figured out which person was a man, which person was a woman. And they did an analysis of the kinds of words that people use, the emotional content of the words. And they found that men, by quite a large margin, expressed much more heartache, much more severe examples of emotional distress. The kinds of words that the men were using were things like regret, heartache, guilt, these kinds of emotions that indicated feelings of things being unresolved inside them as they go through this breakup and try to move on. And it really does challenge that stereotype. We all assume that women probably will feel the pain of heartbreak more because something is going to hit them deep inside, but actually men experience heartbreak at a deeper level in terms of the pain being more real. The researchers of the study speculated as to why this could be the case, and they thought that it could be that women have more emotional support groups around them. So when they do go through a breakup, they've got people to turn to. They talk about their feelings. They have a support network to help them through it. Whereas men, culturally, and it gets back to what I said at the start of the video, we're just less likely to talk about these feelings. So it means two things. Firstly, it means that when we're in a relationship, we become more reliant on our partner, whereas our partner in that relationship probably is talking to us, but is also talking to their friends about what's going on. So they've got that natural support group more inbuilt. So that's the first thing it means. But it also means that when a man goes through that breakup, he hasn't got that support group to actually help to talk about some of these feelings. So that means that the loneliness of the breakup is more acute. We can't actually share it. We've become more reliant on our partner in the relationship. When the relationship breaks down, we're really left on our own, going through that pain alone, and that intensifies the feelings of distress. It probably results in us feeling more guilt, more regret, wondering if we can go back, trying to just end up in a bit of a void. I have to admit that this closely mirrors my own experience, and I want to tell you about really the big breakup in my life that I can see now caused so much pain and suffering. The reason I'm thinking about all of this is because I've just helped to produce a new masterclass on the vessel, on moving on from a breakup, with the incredible Annabelle Acton. And I realized that I'm the one who needs this masterclass more than anyone. So I've already participated in it, but I'm gonna go and watch it again and really go through this, because I know that my big breakup, I never really came to terms with it. So what happened is, it was about 12 years ago, and I was with someone really special. It was a great relationship. And then we broke up, and I did exactly what this study says that men generally do. We avoid talking about the feelings. Maybe we get mired in guilt or something like that, and we try to patch it up, but that wasn't what happened to me. I just moved on quickly. I threw myself into my work. It was the early days of IdeaPod. I was living in New York City, raising capital, having a little bit of success, a lot of challenges, and just loving the whole process. And I just sort of moved on. I didn't really process those feelings. I definitely didn't appreciate what I had. And then in the years ahead, this was really, I guess, the one that got away. And I always felt a lot of underlying pain on what I went through. And because I was never able to really process those feelings, I wasn't able to find a support network and talk about what's going on, it had a huge impact. And I realize now that I'm sort of a perpetually single guy, and if you're watching this video, you might have seen some of my other videos about being single and how being single is actually just a wonderful way to live life, that we don't need to be in a relationship to get our happiness. And I really do believe that. But I am going through a reflective moment on a lot of these things and realizing that yes, being single is amazing, but at the same time, in a sense, it's a way to avoid opening the heart, to building intimate connections, to building wonderful relationships with people. And often the way we handle our breakups, it's not just about getting on with the breakup itself and moving on from that initial pain, but it shapes the way that we're going to enter relationships in the future. So because I had so much heartbreak, kind of delayed heartbreak at the time, like a delayed realization of letting go of something special, I never really wanted to go through that pain again. I'd never really resolved those deeper and underlying feelings. And it's just now that I'm starting to see that so clearly, and that's why I'm so grateful that I've had the chance to participate in helping to produce this masterclass with Annabelle Acton. Annabelle is a very good friend of mine for more than 10 years now. We were both living in Los Angeles at the same time. She's Australian, she's from Melbourne. She's one of the funniest people I know. And she's just a wonderful source of inspiration for when it comes to moving on from your breakups. That's why we brought her to the vessel to create this free masterclass. She's also created an online course called Break Up Better. And I am now gonna throw myself into it, even though I'm not going through a breakup right now, single, and that's just my state. I believe that these lessons are important for us all. So whatever you're going through right now, you could be going through a breakup. It could be there's a breakup from the past that is leaving lingering sort of feelings. And I'd love for you to check out this free masterclass. There's a link in the description below. Share your comments below about your own experiences with breakups, whether you've moved on from them or not. And also, I'd love for you to check out my video on committing to being single. I'm going pretty deep into breakups at the moment. I'm gonna get to the bottom of what I've been going through. So the next few videos will be on breakups. The next video is gonna be on the psychological reason why breakups hurt so much. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe. I've also decided to really commit to this channel now. I'll be doing 2 videos per week. So if you've been watching a few, again, please do subscribe so you can see them. Join me on this journey. See you in the next video.